Hello, it's Stefan here with a little boat. Hope you're well, and I'm back with another Wednesday video where I get an opportunity to share a little bit with Riley and yourselves about myself, the work that I do as a coach, and some case studies to give you an indication of the type of work that I do. So, I'm Stefan, as you know. I'm an exec coach, and what that means is that I work with people on the front line right the way through to CEOs and managing directors, and broadly anybody that's looking to do a blooming brilliant job for their organisation and the wider world. And what I thought I'd do today is give you a case study of working with a really great guy who is a sales leader, an experienced sales manager, and what he was doing was moving into a sales director's role. So rather than managing a sales team, he's managing the managers that are managing the sales team, and is also responsible for operations too. First real senior leadership position, and an opportunity to make a real impression, and also to be in a position to create a solid foundation for his ongoing work. So what did we do? He wants to create a good impression. He wants to do a good job. He wants to be a leader that he can be proud of. So our starting point is very much to talk about how does he wish to be seen at the end of his tenure. We talk about that. What does he want people to say about him? What does he want people to think about him? What does he want to feel? What does he want the responses to be? And as a result of that, we talk about what his guiding principles are. And having identified what his guiding principles are, that puts us in a position to think about what does that look like? What does that sound like? How would you be in a position to set your stall out as being in a position to live by those guiding principles? So that's what we looked at first. Then what we look at is, what is he going to do for his first 90 days? And what is he going to contract with his boss, broadly, the CEO of the organisation? What is the aim for those 90 days? What are the inputs he needs to deliver in order to be able to achieve those outputs by the end of the 90 days? And what fact finds will he need to do to be in a position to make some proper decisions about what he's going to fix, what he's going to keep, and what he's going to tweak? And I think the key part there was about getting the belief and the self-confidence and esteem to recognise that leaders take their time to be able to make big decisions, but are in a position to be able to make some really quick ones if they are seriously burning or hurting the business. So that was a really good conversation. Then what we talked about was, what are the relationships you're going to build? How are you going to build them? What are you going to need to do? And how are you going to get yourself across in a way that you can be proud of? So those conscious decisions and those conscious discussions around ambitions for the first 90 days and what we're going to agree with our boss, the discussions about the inputs that are going to need to take place, and the relationships that we're going to form, and some of those quicker wins that we can potentially look to deal with, brought about more of a certainty of what my client and my coachee was going to do and how they might do it. And I think the biggest difference that made was to draw some conscious thoughts together that were jumbled. It brought about the license of somebody moving into their first fully senior board and director role, to have the belief of their convictions about needing to spend some time to locate themselves in the business and understand how it worked. And it also gave the confidence to be able to have conversations with the CEO to really agree what outputs and what inputs were both realistic, relevant and true during those first 90 days to really set him and the business up for longer term success. And I think that was so important, because so often when we move into senior roles, or we're asked to move into senior roles, the pressure of those roles drives us to try and make a difference too soon. And I think the reality is we make a difference from the moment we start to ask questions, and we make a difference from the moment that we seek to learn and understand what's working, what isn't working, and what needs to be tweaked, with a clear message and game plan of how we're going to work over those 90 days, who we're going to meet with, what opportunities there are to discuss, collaborate and give feedback, and then how, as the leader moving into the business, you will bring everybody together to discuss what you found, what your thoughts are, and how you're going to collaborate to take the great stuff forward, to change the things that need to be changed, and to make slight tweaks as appropriate. Feedback's been tremendous for it. Absolutely love doing it. And if you are a leader moving into a more senior position, or your first senior position, or indeed you're the CEO that needs to be in a position to support somebody to do that, get in touch, because I can help you and I'd love to help you. So drop me an email at hello@thelittleboat.iow.co.uk and we can arrange a conversation. So that's my case study number 2. Ta-ta for now. Have a cracker.